Welcome to Chapter 4. This is Lesson 1, Estimating Products of Fractions. This whole chapter deals with fractions. Estimating fractions is a little bit different than estimating whole numbers. When we estimate fractions, we want to find numbers that are compatible. Compatible means that these numbers are easily divided into. So if we look at letter B on page 258. So we have 5, 6 times 13. So what we want to do is we want to find a number. So looking at our denominator of our fraction is 6. We want to find a number that is compatible with 6. So we want to look at factors of 6. So if you need to on the side, you can do factors of 6. So 6 would be 1. 6 times 2 is 12 would be 1. 6. We also could look at 6 times 3, which is 18. Now looking at those three, we know they're both around 13, so we want to see which of these compatible numbers to 6 would work good in that place. Well, 12 is actually closer to 13, so let's use that. So we're going to estimate 5 sixths times 12. Now, to make this even easier yet, instead of 5 6, we want to make it even easier than that. So we're going to lose the 5, and we're just going to have 1 6th times 12. Well, that's the same as taking 12 divided by 6. And we all know 12 divided by 6 leaves us with 2. Now we need to bring in that other 5. When we bring the 5 in, we need to multiply. So really, my answer is going to be 5 times 2, which is about 10. So my answer is about 10. This seems a little confusing, so let's look at another example. You can follow along with me on page 258. This is letter C, 3/4 of 23. So again, I want to look for compatible numbers to the denominator, which in this case, the denominator is 4 of my fraction. So I'm going to go through factors of 4 that give me close to 23. Well, I know 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20. And 4 times 6 is 24. Well, I know 20 and 24 are the closest to 23. So these are my compatible numbers to this fraction. So again, I'm going to take 3/4 times one of those numbers to make it a little bit easier. Let's choose 24 because it's closer. So I'm going to take 3/4 times 24. But when I estimate, I want to make it even a little bit easier. So instead of 3/4, I'm going to change it to just 1/4 times 24. Well, this is the same as saying 24 divided by 4, which we all know 24 divided by 4 is 6. Now we need to bring in that 3. So we're going to have 3 times 6 to get us our answer, and 3 times 6 is 18. So our answer is going to be about 18. Your code word for these chapters are going to be colors. So your code word for today is red. Let's look at one last example. This example is on page 259, letter F. So now in this case, we have two fractions, so it's actually even easier to estimate. Looking at 5 6, we want to know if that's closer to 0, 1/2, or 1. That's what we're estimating just fractions to. So looking at 5 6, I think 5 6 is actually closer to 1. So I'm going to round 5 6 to 1. And we're multiplying, that's what the word of means, and 1/9. Well, 1/9 I think is actually closer to 0. So my answer is just 1 times 0, which we all know is 0.